Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to another tutorial on how to operate Starbase Simulator. In this tutorial, I will teach you the basics of the tank farm. As you can see here, we are already on the section, and in this case, just press Q to open the menu. As you can see, there is a lot of complicated stuff, but really, it's not that hard at all. And I will teach you the very basics. By default, the QDs on the booster and the ship are fully enclosed. So what we need to do, we will need to extend them. As already here, I have already extended them. Make sure that the target distance for the ship quick disconnect is all the way to this direction, right here. And by moving it towards that direction, you can just press this button here. It will move the QD arm to the left. As you can see here, I'll just give you a quick demonstration. So as you can see here, I moved it all the way to the right. This is how I would do it during launch. So here, as you can see, I am moving the ship QD arm back in. It is going to take a little bit for the ship QD arm to stop moving. And then we're going to extend the ship QD by just pressing this button right here. And as you can see, we have contact. And by knowing that you do have contact is by just looking at this little green light on the side, making sure that, you know, it is fully extended and ready to fuel up your ship. So now, what we are going to do, we have already filled up the tanks all the way with the necessary fuel. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration here and show you the tank visuals. So these three tanks here are the ones filled with liquid oxygen. These tanks here are filled with nitrogen. And these are just, you know, this one's the empty water tank here. And this is also the water tank here. This was, I believe, meant for methane, but, you know, I think, I don't know who said, but I don't know. They said no. Anyways, so now, what we're going to do, I always put the pumps at their by 0 bar, because we just want to baby this thing if you want to do it more realistically in this case. So what we're going to do now, we're going to click on auto, as this is the most I highly recommend this for beginners. But if you want to risk it and go right on ahead, you can always just, you know, do it manually by opening the valves to the subcoolers. So now what we're going to do, we're going to click auto only on the liquid oxygen side. And by telling that, you know, here are the visuals here. We're going to disable this, actually. Oh. That is, very weird. But, okay. Oh, there they go. So now the subcoolers are ready to go. We're going to now press this here. And now we are going to start filling up the booster with liquid oxygen. As you can see, the booster is already getting frosty. Let's speed things up slightly here. Once we have gotten the propellant at least about to 400 tons, we can now begin filling up the subcoolers on the methane side. As you can see, when that begins to stop, when the valves have closed, you can now begin to start fueling up the booster with methane. You always need to make sure that you open the valves to the subcoolers according to the temperatures and pressures of the subcoolers. I'm just going to open this up to 40. And there's a little infograph right here that was here just slightly. It was there to tell us, like, hey, the lines are freezing up with methane, and which is not good in this case. I'm going to open the valves just slightly, a little bit more. Now, as you can see, we're going to start increasing the pressure. Always make sure that, you know, the temperatures of the methane is at a good point. We do not want it to be super cold, and we do not want it to be super warm either. And now we can start increasing the pressure inside the pumps a little bit more to 3 bar. And you should always double check of how many cubic meters that the fuel is going inside the booster. As you can see, with the increasing pressure inside the tanks, you will need to increase the pressure in the pumps according. And make sure you do not get your the methane temperatures below 89 Kelvin, which is the default on the default measurements. And now, as you can see, the methane loading is complete. What we're going to do is close the valves and shut down the pumps on the methane side. As you can see, we still need a little bit more oxygen. As you can see now, we are full on the oxygen side. So now, what we can now do is start fueling the ship. Make sure that, you baby the methane at first. You do need to make sure that, of course, that the pressures do not get over excessive inside. And now we can start actually chilling down the ship's fuel. We can start beginning engine chill down. You could also do it on the booster as well, but I just usually wait until last minute. As you can see now, we are almost filled to the brim. We can now begin engine chill down on the first stage. We're also on Super Heavy, of course. Now we have began, the fuel loading is complete on the booster. We can now shut off the pumps and also close any valves to any of the ground support equipment. And we also need to wait. Here we also should also activate automatic control. Also, we should also just throttle down the engines here. I just do that just in case if anything critical happens. Now let's enable the control and roll on the booster. As you can see now, we are ready to go. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have liftoff of the Starship Super Heavy Rocket. Eagle's beginning to pitch downrange. That doesn't look good. So at any point in the flight, for example, here in this case, the full stack, of course, is wobbling all sorts of wonky here. Let's set off the biggest firework known to man. So let's arm the FTS and light this baby. Bam! And as you can see now, we have exploded the first stage and the second stage accordingly. And that concludes how to launch and operate the tank farm in Starbase Simulator. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please make sure to follow Ashtorek on Twitter to get any updates on Starbase Simulator. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Atlantis signing off.